Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Halloween. This one's going to be a fun one. Guys, we just got back from New York City and it was so much fun. I told you guys a little bit about it while we were gone. I got to meet Kim Kardashian, went to SiriusXM, got to see Andy for a little bit, the All's Fair cast. That was so much fun. Went to this big TikTok event, and then we went to Erin Leachy's book launch event, one of her mini launch events, because she's doing a book tour, obviously. But then we went to the after party and we got to see Melissa Gorga, Captain Jason, Jen Fessler, Margaret Josephs. I mean, you name it, they were there. So we had a blast. We'll be spilling all of that in our members only. But in the meantime, smash the like button. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also, if you guys are not aware, we've been kind of pulling questions in between topics. So if you guys have a question, put a capital Q, let us know. And yeah, let's welcome the husband. Here we go.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween.
Oh my God. It's so funny because we didn't have any Halloween plans.
No, well, now we do. So that'll be fun.
I mean, how are you feeling today? Like, we got in so late last night.
I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. Like, I was sitting here, like, wiping my eyes like this, like, trying to just, like, stay awake. It's crazy, but there's just so much going on. We had probably the best trip ever to New York. It was so much fun. Got from SiriusXM, like you said, and the All's Fair press day, and it just has just been, it's been a whirlwind. Let's say that.
It has been a freaking whirlwind, you guys. You have no idea. I mean, honestly, again, so much fun. We stayed in the cutest little boutique hotel.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't have one single complaint about this trip. The only complaint that I had at first was like the Wi-Fi wasn't working, but they fixed it.
I feel like that happens at every hotel we stay at, though. Like,
that's what your mom said to me.
Yeah, it just happens all the time. Like, it's, you know, not everyone is like a streamer, though. You know, not everyone's like jumping on the internet using it at the capacity we are, I guess.
Well, no, it just literally wasn't working at
all. It just didn't work.
No.
That's different.
Jason was getting ready to go out. He's like, I'm going to go have coffee while you record. I'm going to go walk the park. And I was like, you're not going nowhere because the Wi-Fi is not working.
I'm like, this internet needs to work now because I got to go. I got to go at least like get some steps in. God, that's so, you know, I think that's also the most tiring part about being in the city. You know, we haven't lived there since what, 2016?
Yeah.
And it's just always nice to go back. You know, it's nice to go back. It's nice to walk. It's nice to feel that energy, but at the same time, it's really nice to come back to the bubble. Yeah. You know, to come back to home.
I agree. Okay, guys. So, Jason, where do you want to start? I mean, we have Andy Cohen call her daddy. We also have Lisa Barlow getting accused of being this leak. We have Tamra Judge being accused of being a leak. We have Lisa Vanderpump. She got some really, really sad news. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. Yeah. We have Below Deck. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to start?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't even know. It's been a whirlwind. And to catch up on Salt Lake this week, to catch up on OC last night, I loved the crossover between Housewives of Salt Lake City and Below Deck.
Let's start there.
More of that. Like, that's how it should be. You know, I like the crossovers. I like that that's happening. And, you know, they fooled all of us too. I thought, you know, Down Under, I thought this was the Greece trip. So I thought like that's where the boat was going to be, but they're not. And we got a chance to see some of our crew, some of our familiar faces from
Joao.
Joao is back. What is this going to be? Season 4 of Below Deck. So we had some familiar faces from season 3, like Alicia, who's in the sous chef with Chef Ben is back. Captain Jason, and then you just add the fuel in the fire that are Heather Gay and Lisa Barlow, and it just makes it like a sinking ship, you know?
I feel, you know, it's so funny between Salt Lake City and Orange County. I am really looking at these franchises very side-eyed right now. I'm thinking that there are a lot of accusations being hurled, and I'm not quite buying into the hype of what people are trying to do as far as like casting blame. I'm like, yeah, this seems a little off to me. So since you mentioned the Below Deck, Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, Salt Lake City crossover. Maybe let's start there with the waterbender Meredith.
The waterbender.
Not
It
the
even made it.
waterbender.
It made it to the IG bio. Meredith Marks, lawyer, DJ, waterbender. You know?
Okay, so guys, we all know that if you guys didn't watch the episode, just to kind of bring you back up to speed, Bronwyn Newport ended up showing up to the yacht a little bit late in some sort of costume. I don't know what she was wearing. Half the time, I don't know what she's wearing. Sometimes she's dressed like a hot dog. Other times, she looks like a rubber ducky inside of a bathtub. I don't know if this is cute. It's fashion. I just wear all black all the time. I think it looks silly. Honestly, I thought it looked dumb, but that's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion. And that's really not like the core issue of what we have to talk about. The core issue is things are coming out about Bronwyn. Now, it dates back to her apparently getting evicted and not paying rent on time. But then also there was some sort of penal code that is listed next to things like identity fraud, credit card fraud, these very serious charges.
Lots of fraud. Yeah.
Lots of fraud. And she's claiming, oh, well, you guys know I really can't talk about that because, you know, the documents are sealed. So I can't really express too much about that. And I'm looking at it like, oh, that's really fucking convenient that you don't have to talk about it. Wait, what?
Weird. Well, I want to start too, like with Bronwyn's entrance. It's like, you know, if that came out and you're worried that people are talking about you. Todd's worried how the ladies are going to look at you, what they're going to say, you know, and stuff like that. Why would you make it such an effort? Why just face it? Get on the plane and face it. Why would you make this such an effort of, you know, having this crazy entrance with your crazy costume? You know what I mean? Like, why? You wanted a moment. Don't say you're worried about, like, what are the ladies saying about me? I'm you know, they might be talking shit. Who knows? They're going to be talking anyway. It's like, if you already know that, just go on the trip. But she wanted an entrance. Lisa saw she wanted an entrance, and Lisa called her out right away.
Well, and you know what's so funny is Whitney, this is like one of the few times where I agree with her. She was like, if you come, we're going to talk about it. If you don't come, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. So regardless, we're going to talk about it. And when all of this is coming up, you know, like the women are trying to figure out who is the leak in the group. And as they're trying to figure out, it seems like Heather Gay is sort of like really driving this narrative that we have a common denominator, and that common denominator is Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, wait, shit. Okay. So Lisa Barlow is the one that you guys think leaked all of this stuff. I was just a little bit confused by it, but just to kind of give you guys a little bit of context, there was an Instagram account called Bravo Boo who publicly denied that Lisa Barlow leaked any of the legal information regarding Bronwyn Newport. Actually, instead, they are claiming that they are the ones who did it. Now, the denial came after Heather Gay, during the episode, said that she absolutely believed that Lisa had leaked the info. She said Lisa is smarter and darker than any of us imagine, and I think she looks up everything and she keeps a scorecard. And she said that she feels like she's seen Lisa gathering information about Bronwyn and other cast members, speaking with production or people off camera. And Whitney Rose also said during the scene, every time Lisa's mad at somebody, information leaks about them. Angie Katzenabis, Whitney, Bronwyn. Heather agreed with this. However, the blogger in question clarified, I was the first person to post it. They want all of the flowers for this. I was the first person to post it and nobody leaked it to me, meaning their source was independent and Lisa did not send any documents to them. And the quote from the blogger said, Lisa Barlow never leaked anything to me about Bronwyn. I found it on my own. They're trying to say, I did this. I dug this shit up. You're not giving the credit to her. It was not her. It was me. They want to be like at the forefront of this, which go on, Bravo, Boo, whoever. We love that for you. You want all of the credit for it, but it really does. You put it out first. They're owning it. It does sort of exonerate Lisa Barlow.
I mean, listen, I watched the episode twice. So I watched it kind of like out of it, like on the plane. And then I watched it again last night, a little bit this morning. And, you know, I just kept going back and forth, back and forth. I really think I think Heather might be the leak. And
Well,
the only reason I'm saying that is because she sits back and she kind of does that narration of everything. She kind of stays Switzerland with everybody until it's time to jump. And that's what we saw her do with Lisa. You know, it's like she wanted everyone to get mad. She wanted Bronwyn to feel like Lisa was leaking the information. Then she brought Meredith into the conversation with Whitney and her in the bedroom.
yeah.
And then, you know, Whitney conveniently brought it up at dinner. But instead of being mad at Whitney for bringing it up, she just dives in on Lisa. And I think we talked about this because we had heard, you know, through a lot of stuff that, you know, the first half of the season is like a Lisa takedown and the second half is going to be a Meredith takedown. And I feel like Heather would want to take one of them down. Like, I don't know why. I'm just getting that intuition. I could be completely wrong, but
I don't think you're wrong.
I watched it a lot. You know, I watched it over and over and I was like, something is not adding up here. Like something's not adding up at all.
Well, and I also, going back to like the very beginning of when the show started, you know, Lisa Barlow called Heather Gay a good time girl. They have never, you guys, gotten along.
Never.
They've
Come on.
never gotten along. And Heather Gay is sort of on this high. So kind of to bring you guys behind the scenes of NBC, Universal, and Bravo. If you guys don't notice, she is going to the Hey You events. She is now doing the Wayfair commercial. She went to the Call Her Daddy Unwell Vegas like podcast tour. She's always constantly being promoted as one of the faces of Bravo. And it's because they go by a ratio. And the ratio depends on the fans, like your likability, how people respond to you. And she really has like a strong likability with the fans. So
Absolutely.
she sort of, in that way, gets to be a little untouchable and a little mischievous at times, I think. And I feel like that contributes to what's going on here. I kind of find Heather Gay to be like sort of like a Temu Lisa Vanderpump in the sense that she's
leaking stories and then saying, what are you talking about? It's not me.
She's like, oh my God, what are you talking? And then casting blame.
I'm an ex-Mormon. I wouldn't do that.
I would never do that. That's like some Giselle Bryant, Lisa Vanderpump shit. It is very obvious, I think, in my opinion, as somebody who has covered the show, or well, we've covered the show since the beginning, but we have covered Bravo for over 5 years. And I think that you start to kind of see like a pattern with different cast members, and people always show themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
I agree with Jason. I think my eyes right now are a little bit more on Heather Gay, but you know, there's somebody else who has an opinion on this. So we are going to roll that tape. Here we go.
Heather Gay said to Lisa, "You are smarter and darker than anyone." Carlos?
Monica?
No, because the way that is exactly what I've said about Heather. I couldn't believe she said that. I'm like, it is you.
Look, she said, Lisa, you're smarter, darker than us, and you keep a scorecard. And I'm like,
Yep.
But this is what is so interesting to me. You got your ass handed to you last, you know, the season you were on, because they all felt like, okay, Monica is talking to bloggers and she's doing this, and they all jumped on you. They all of them, except Mary, jumped down your throat. What is so interesting is this. It's the fact that all of these ladies believe that Lisa is capable of digging dirt on them and is digging sealed documents on Bronwyn, but they're not icing her out the group and demanding she leave the trip. They're trying to like say, oh, and then we'll forgive you. Why the double standard?
I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't think that they like that I came on there and took from their light. That's honestly what I think. It has nothing to do. I did nothing that they have not done themselves. Period. End of story. Brittany secretly recording them came up again in this episode. So it's like, I've done nothing that you guys haven't done. And you met Brittany for a second, caught her secretly recording you, and immediately forgave her. So it doesn't make sense. None of that makes sense. You just didn't like that I came in and, just like Taylor Swift said, honey, I girl boss too close to the sun. Okay. And you were given a little bit of a cloud and you didn't like that. And so get her off the fucking show. And that it is what it is because nothing else makes sense. They're willing to still film with Jen Shah. So it just, you can't make sense of something that is completely illogical, But I do.
Okay.
I have two things to say.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I think when you have the OGs and you have the introduction of such a personality on the show, the OGs tend to like feel threatened. They almost feel like they have ownership of the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Heather always says, like, she even said at the dinner table, we have a rule. Don't talk to us or don't talk about us behind our back. Talk to us, to our face. And then we saw Marisol do it in Miami. Don't do that. We don't do that on our show. It's very, They have this ownership and they have this like, I don't know, insecurity about being replaced almost. You know what I mean? And just from seeing things happen in the past, that's a very reasonable like thought. Now I want to go back to the blogger thing. I don't know what a blogger is anymore. And we always talk about this. There's so many content creators. There are blogs that cover news and stuff like that. And, we all work in a weird way together, and everybody, in fact, I have a photo. Let me see if I can bring it up. Everybody talks to whatever you want to call bloggers, content creators,
right?
Stuff like that. I mean, Adam, like you started your channel with over 200 interviews with 200 Bravo celebrities. It's all available on the channel. You've maintained relationships with all of them.
Most of them, yeah.
Most of them, not all of them. You can't win every game.
You can't win everyone.
You can't win everyone, but it's not even, because Bravo Docket brought this up and they have a great podcast, guys, if you haven't listened to it. Let me see if I can just bring it up really, really quick. And this is kind of what I agree with. If we're going back to the Bronwyn thing of it all, let me see if my computer sense here can work. But go ahead. You can.
Well, I was gonna say in the meantime, while you're pulling that up, guys, I just wanted to share this with you. It was interesting because when Lisa Barlow went on with Aaron Leachy on Watch What Happens Live, she was like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's an account called Pagey on X, and you guys should go do some deep diving into it. And it looks like Angie Katzenavas has been talking to this Bravo page who broke the story about Bronwyn's alleged criminal past. I don't know if it was Pagey. I don't know if it was Bravo Boo. But what I do know is that they ended up leaking all of the DMs, and they are a Bravo fan account. And in the DMs, you can clearly see she's identifying Lisa as a narcissist, but a necessary character. She's talking about Whitney. She's talking about some of the people who are on the show.
Yikes.
There are a lot of things that are being said in these DMs, which means you clearly do speak to quote unquote bloggers.
Yeah. And you know what? It's true. And this is exactly why. And so does Whitney. I mean, hello, this all came up with us, when she brought you into the mix and then kind of turned on you and framed it to look like something different. Right.
Right.
She talks that they all talk to people. And this is why, Adam, I'm so glad you never released those text messages or DMs, because this is exactly what happens. But Bravo Docket had this really great thing to say, I thought. Quote, who leaked the stories to Bronwyn? End quote. No one did, clearly. Reddit sleuths found it and bloggers picked it up. I'm sure the ladies were DM'd the info, just how we are DM'd info all the time, and we're nobodies. Imagine how loaded their DMs are. This is infuriating. We get so much stuff to us. We already know so much stuff that's going to happen. We hear about things that could possibly happen, but it's more fun to just watch it happen and talk about it, But Bravo Docket's right. We go to Reddit. There's so many things on Reddit. There's conspiracy theories. There's all kinds of stuff on there. And it's just, it's wild. And I think it's okay. I think it's okay for the talent to have relationships with content creators and stuff like that too. But as long as you're not ruining the show, You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
I think there's a fine line. I think that a contract is a contract. And in the contract, it clearly states that you are not supposed to leak storylines. You're not supposed to share screeners. You're not supposed to try. The thing is I think they don't want you weaponizing content creators who are thirsty enough to take the information, run with it, and try to be the first to put it out
on the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Oh, and we're going to get to that. But, you know, in this moment, clearly we saw where Angie Katzenabis was talking to quote unquote bloggers. Like you said, we had a relationship with Whitney. Jason was Whitney's best friend, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah, like when? In my past life?
They worked at Target together or something. I forgot.
Well, my cousin worked at Target with her. Hey, listen, it's crazy too, because then what happens is everyone gets afraid to do interviews or continue the conversation. You know, we had someone reach out from a franchise recently. Actually, 2 people reach out to you from a franchise recently, thinking that you were a leak because of things that we were guessing and talking about. And I'm like, first of all,
this is the second time that month, by the way, that
it wasn't that important.
It's the second time this month that has happened, by the way.
Yeah, no, because you know what? If we leaked shit, if we did stupid stuff, we again end up on the list of darkness. You know what I mean? Well, we get blacklisted. We already had our little break after the Jen Shah interview. You know what I mean? So like, and also you don't want to ruin the show.
No. Nobody wants to ruin the show. And you guys don't even understand. Like when Jason says he sometimes, like, I don't know if he's being funny because Jason likes to be left alone. He likes to get on his phone with like his friends and family, like over in London. And he like checks in with people and he's like, give me a break. I'm getting on the phone. I'm going to take a bubble bath. And I'm always on the phone with housewives or Bravo talent who are telling me things or doing whatever. You never hear it until it comes out on like page, 6 or any of the other major media outlets. I don't speak about it because I don't ruin those relationships, but I get so much information all the fucking time.
You know what's better though is to watch it play out and then kind of give an opinion to it, to kind of give a different perspective to it. That's why I love Hot Messy Topics.
Yeah,
like it's so fun, and we're like, oh shit, did that come out? Did it come out the way we heard it was going to come out? And then it's kind of like, okay, how are we going to look at this? Because we know some of them. We know how the business works too. And yeah.
You know what's so funny too, to even piggyback off this conversation, you guys, I have had recently a housewife who even gave me wrong information, trying to see if I would be a leak and leak the wrong information. And I sat on it. I didn't say anything. I waited for everything to play out. And then I later went back and I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you give me the wrong information? What was the purpose of that? And they were honest with me and they were like, listen, I was testing you. I'm like, okay, do you feel good now?
Do we need to be tested? Did we pass?
Yeah.
Did we get an A?
Did I pass your test? But
could we add it to the list of accolades?
I just, going back and summing this up so we can move on to the next topic, I don't think that Lisa Barlow had a hand in any of this. And,
I don't either.
Like we've known Meredith since the beginning of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As you guys know, you've seen photos of me out with Meredith before. Meredith is a freaking vault. You will never get information about anything to do with the show. I think that the cast does a really great job as opposed to like the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I feel like they're really, really good at not sharing extra information.
Yes.
And Meredith, she's no exception. She will never tell you a word. So I love that about her. But speaking of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jason and I were on the plane yesterday and it was a long fucking flight. I had some crazy bitch with blue hair scream at me because I was trying to go to the bathroom. She was standing in the way and all of the flights were canceled except for 2 in the Delta terminal. Thank God we were one of the 2 that made it out. The storm in New York City was insane.
Oh my God. The storm was insane.
You couldn't see you guys 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Like you could not. And so I was walking to the bathroom. Jason's like, no, we're boarding. And I said, I have to pee. So I was like,
it's always like Adam to wait until right before we board or right when we get in the car. And he's like,
a lot of
hey,
water.
I gotta use the restroom. It's like, really? Come on, dude.
No, that's usually you. But like, and
that's you. That is
like,
you. You just
admitted
admitted
to
to it.
Woman, I was like, excuse me, I'm just trying to go past you and use the restroom. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? And I looked at her and I'm like, girl, we are all stressed right now. Like, let me go to the fucking bathroom. Like, move out of the way. I was like,
Lord.
this is not happening right now. But I get it. People get pissed off when, you know, things happen when you're traveling and there's delays and stuff like that. So whoever the blue-haired woman was, I forgive you.
Listen, I mean, you never know where people are going. I thought we were gonna have such a bigger issue at the airport just with, you know, the shutdown and TSA and stuff like that, but it was all weather. I hope they get this shit together before BravoCon, because a lot of people are going to be traveling to Las Vegas, and you know, can you imagine, like, the government is still shut down, we can't figure this FAA thing out.
It's a possibility.
Come on, like, this, you know, politicians don't work for us, right? So they just pretend to, and then just throw shit down our throats.
It's a possibility.
Possibility.
Jason pointed this out to me yesterday, that the real Jen Shaw, you guys know, she posted 40 on her Instagram
Someone
stories.
posted it.
And well, somebody posted it, which was probably Murillo, her former assistant, but he's been running a lot of her social media. She also still has a team, very much so, in place, so they could be posting it too. But she is not 40; she is in her 50s. So 40, if I had to guess, would just be the amount of time that she has left in the prison. And that
you think 40 days?
I think 40 days, because I got wind that she would be getting out even earlier than that. So 40 days makes a lot of sense. 40
days, and then what? Like
40 days?
Like 40 days you stay at home?
No, 40 days. No. I talked to Emily D. Baker about this. Once they let her out, it's not like she comes out and she goes into house arrest. That is not the case. Once she serves her time, she's going to still have to, I don't know if it's, I think that she has probation and stuff like that. There's a probationary period, but restitution, of course, you guys. And I don't even think she can so much as get like a traffic violation. Like, none of that can happen. But once she's out, she's out. She can film. If they'll have her back, she can go tell her story. She's going to come out like Karen Huger. The day that Karen came out, the next day she walked out, she was totally glammed and she was back into the press. That is exactly what Jen Shaw is gearing up for. So this one will be interesting. Let's take some questions. That would
be interesting. I'm curious to see what the network would do. I'm curious to see what she would decide to do, because, you know, we saw the Grizzlies come out, very different story, but
straight to the press,
straight there. You know, do you take a moment? Do you decide what's best for you and your family?
No, they got out and they had reality TV cameras when they walked out of prison.
I'm talking about Jen though. Like, when she gets out, like what is she gonna want to do? You know, and I'm sure networks are already approaching her team. I'm sure they have been since she went in.
Well, they don't start. You have to think about it too. If she's out in 40 days, Jason, they don't start filming Salt Lake City until the new year.
Yeah.
If she's smart, which Jen is a very smart woman, who happened to get herself caught into like all of these things. If she's smart, what she's going to do is she's going to take control over the narrative and finally speak on what she wants to. She's had a lot of time to think about this. She's going to go to the press. She's going to do a press tour. She's going to share her side of all of the stories. All of those things are going to be out there before she ends up getting offered to go back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're probably going to do, they will. What they're probably going to do is offer her to come back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now that she has that full story out there, she knows that Bravo doesn't control that narrative anymore. So she kind of has like the cuffs off of her, and it's sort of like a rebirth and a refresh. That's what's going to happen.
I just don't know if it's going to happen. I just don't know, with everything going on with like the Wendy stuff, with the Jen stuff, with Teresa, with Karen, with Shannon, I mean, everyone gets in trouble with the law, but is it just part of life? You know, not everyone's frauding everyone. But like,
I don't think it's part of life.
No, I mean, just like, no, but it's reality TV, right? Are we supposed to just believe this is part of life? Like, oh yeah, well, my friend, you know, she was just involved in this big like fraud thing, and she'll be out soon. Don't worry, we'll have dinner. You know, that's the way it kind of looks with Bravo, right? Like it's just, but it's weird. But do you want to see where it goes? You know, here's my thing about Jen, because someone in the live chat just brought up Stuart, her former assistant, who kind of ratted her out, I believe, who was involved in the same thing, right?
Right.
And so were 12 or 13 other people who were all like white men from, you know, so like she was not the only one. She got the whole thing. And I've told the
kit and caboodle.
I've told you this so many times. I think that she got brought into something, not completely knowing what it was, not to make an excuse for her, but just not knowing exactly, and then got too deep into it. You know where I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just got a little too deep. It was too late. You know,
well,
I don't know. That's kind of how I kind of feel about it. But
I also too want to, well, we'll see. We'll see how she comes out. I mean,
restitution is important though. You know what I mean? Like we've said it before, like if you know, Teresa paid back all her restitution, you know, whatever Jen does next, I believe they are paying restitution currently, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah, I believe that they've been paying it as they've been going.
Yeah. And also like this, you know, here's your opportunity to make things right. Do people want to watch that though? That's going to be the big question that the network is really going to have to kind of jump into.
Yep. Oh God, it just keeps going. So speaking on that, guys, we're going to take some questions really quick so we can move on to the next topic. Let's go through these. Has Stuart been sentenced yet, or has he been living under a rock? I think that Stuart cooperated enough with the feds.
Is he getting out?
He has not been in prison.
Has he not?
No, he's been cooperating with the feds. He's not in prison. I don't think that he's going to get any time at all. He literally, like, immediately when this happened, he took a deal. And he's like, whatever you want to know on whoever you want to know it about, I will tell you everything. Wow. So, Western Burbs, Kristen, Heather is the leak. Well, it seems like some people think that. Carol Castellano 6512 said, question, I'm in Oregon, not a computer person, and I'm 65. How do I use 435 to get my discount on members only? I'm a computer dummy.
Oh, okay. You're talking probably for SEAGRASS, our CBD company. We have a code for 35% off. What we'll do is we'll post it in the community tab for members.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we'll post it in there.
Thanks, Carol. Yeah, guys, go shop SEAGRASS. It's here. Everybody's loving it. I love it. Vicky Harnish said, question, I think Lisa has husband problems. She's too emotional this year, crying 1 second, yelling the next.
This year.
Guys, I think that everybody has a relationship ebbs and flows, ups and downs. You know, like, just to be like very honest with you guys, and I don't even know if Jason's going to appreciate this, but we were in New York City and we were having the best time. And we always get under a lot of stress because it's when we're in transition. And in the last year or so, we moved literally like 2 or 3 times, and it creates so much strife for us because we have 5 animals. We don't stop recording while we're doing it. We don't stop working, trying to operate businesses, dealing with taxes. We have a big family that we're always also dealing with. And, you know, it creates a lot of tension for us too. And you have some good years, you have some bad years. This wasn't our favorite year for each other, but when we were in New York, we were so inspired, and it was amazing. It felt like a refresh, like a reset for us, because we're like, 2026 is going to be fucking sick.
I mean, it really is. I just, you know, it's crazy to, you know, because we met someone at the Aaron Leachy book event, and she also asked, why do you guys move so much? I'm like, well, we do real estate. So we're always like jumping and moving and playing the market, you know, because if one day, God forbid, the internet is taken away, at least you have something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, and for Lisa and John, they'll get their footing.
Yeah.
As long as like the core there is just love, and you like know that you can't live without that person. You know, like sometimes we want to kill each other, and we look at each other, and Jason's like, he told me the other day, we were at some shopping center. Mayday, shut up. I love you. We were at some shopping center, and Jason was like, honestly, I don't know what. It was after I crashed his car. He's like, I don't know what I would do if something happened to you. Like, I feel like my life would be over. And I was like, oh my God, That's so sweet. Like, I feel like I would freak out. So there's always just the core there, you know?
You know,
And
what's funny
the rest
too
of the
is
things you deal with.
when you see people that, you know, I guess on the show and stuff, that you have this perception of, we see such a small, minute version of someone's relationship and someone's personality on the show.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because we ran into a whole bunch of people, which we'll talk about on members, you know, just a couple nights ago. And it's so nice to see them. And you see people who you thought maybe on the show had some issues or whatever, but you see them in person, it's not like that at all. So I think, you know, let's say we were being filmed and we were having one of those moves or one of those things, a lot of people would be like, well, Jason and Adam are, you know, they're crazy.
Oh yeah, you guys would hate us. Toaster JB, question: if you guys were dressing up for Halloween, what Bravo characters would you be?
Probably just Andy Cohen, right? I can put some gray in my hair and a blazer and I'm good, you know?
I would be Tamara when she gets baptized. I'm just kidding, guys. Okay.
I would just have a few drinks and call myself a housewife.
What makes a blogger a bad thing? Nothing, guys. The term is used so inappropriately, and it's also a term that's used. It's like weaponized to be like, you know, like you're a piece of shit, like low life blogger. But it's really
because
content creators,
you have
it shows the hierarchy.
Yeah, you have like the talent and like, you know, some of the wannabe Andys who like are, you know, well, they're just in their bedroom and their computer typing at home. Like we're Sarah Jessica Parker and fucking Sex in the City. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There's so much more that goes into it. It's insane.
Exactly. Question: what is your favorite franchise? I'm gonna say Miami. And Jason's gonna say London.
Changed. Yeah, London. I know it's not on Bravo. If it's Bravo, I'm gonna say Miami. You know, although I'm really enjoying Salt Lake. OC got way better. You know, like the second half of the season kind of peaked, which was kind of nice. I don't know how everyone feels about that. I know that's not the case everywhere, but London, even though it's on Hey You, it just brings me back to like Housewives, and it was really, really fun to watch. It's only 10 episodes. They wanted to see how it did. It did amazing. I think they have a 3-part reunion too. So yeah.
No, it was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna take like 3 more really quick, and then we're gonna move on. But question: do you think Tamara will walk off or quit again at the reunion? I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about that. I feel like we would have known that by now.
4th time's a charm.
Matt said, are you staying where you are for good, or at least for some time? It's a really nice house. Thank you so much. Yes, we are not fucking going anywhere.
No, this is our base.
No, this is our base.
We'll be traveling a lot next year. We will be over in our favorite place.
Yeah, you guys stay tuned. 5 pets. I've only seen 2. Can we see them? Go to my Instagram. You'll see them. I post all of them. You just got to scroll through all of the reels to get down to the base of it, you know? And then what would your taglines be if you were housewives? Oh, I know Jason's, but mine is broke, broken, and bitchy. Enough about you. Let's talk about me.
What is mine again?
Yours was, I may be flexible, but my patience never been.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And steal them. Wait, you have another one too. It's what was the other one? It was funny. You were just like randomly saying it one day. It was it's an elevator game and only I can reach the top. I love that. That's good.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. I wrote it down after you said it. Were you drunk?
No, bitch. No, because
walking around the house with a glass.
First of all,
this is Adam.
He would not come up with
the house with a glass of champagne. Broke, broken, and bitchy. Enough about you. Let's talk about me. No,
I'm about to come upstairs and like mollywop the shit out of you. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Marriage. All right. So moving on. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys. I'm not going to recap the episode. You guys can go to Up and Adam channel 2 to get sort of like a recap on the episode. But what I do want to talk about is the fact that at the end of last night's episode, it was interesting to see that it was brought to light. Tamara brought this to light that Gretchen had liked a lot of these problematic posts about the LGBTQIA plus community, about maybe potentially being phobic of trans, like just there was a lot.
Yeah.
Gretchen's reaction, she kind of just seemed like, I don't know how to react. I don't know what these things are. Tamara was like, you're a piece of shit. You're a bad person. And it kind of seemed like the women were turning on Gretchen. And then lo and behold, as they're headed to the airport, there was a shift. And I was a little interested to see that shift. But the shift was Emily Simpson and Gina Kirschenheiter, who were saying, well, like, we went to go look at the post, but it doesn't show where she likes it at all. Like, we went through it. Tamara, like, did you make this up? And Tamara's like, are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you with that. She was pissed. There's something going on here. I don't believe, especially because by the end of the episode where cameras picked back up, and if you guys paid attention, it was Jen Pedranti, Shannon Bedore, and Gina Kirschenheiter. They had somebody come on over the phone, and it was a voice masked like this. Like when you watch like one of those ID channels with like a former mafia person, they don't want their identity to be revealed, but it was a voice like this. And it was sharing all of the events that were happening while they were currently filming their season of The Real Housewives of Orange County, sharing dates, things, people, all of it. I was like, okay. And so Gina, Jen, and Shannon were like, oh my God, that's our whole show. And they said, I have proof. Tamara was the one who told me. There was not 1 ounce of proof that was given, except for the fact that they knew all of the information. I truly, I'm telling you guys this. I'm not on Tamara's payroll, and apparently neither is Emily Simpson anymore with the way that she's talking about her. Oh. But I'm not on Tamara's payroll. I don't know Tamara shit. You guys have seen me come on here. I have roasted the hell out of Tamara before, and I've also defended her. It depends like in which way I'm going in that moment. And I don't believe this. I believe that this was planted. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this for a fact. I kind of feel like Slade or somebody knew all of this information anyways. From my knowledge, I'm just going to give you guys a conspiracy theory. I'm going to give you a conspiracy theory. To my knowledge, he doesn't have a job. Also, to my knowledge, he told Katie Janela and her husband when he was talking to them that he was on the phone with Alex Baskin. He's really good friends with producers. Also, while Gretchen was in Morocco for the Ultimate Girls Trip that never got aired because Caroline Manzo and also Brandi Glanville, all of that drama, he was calling production. He was asking how Gretchen is performing allegedly, and also what was she wearing, and trying to like almost like a husbander or something. So he clearly has a hand in what's going on. He knows what's going on. And if you're watching the episode, when she feels like I don't know what's going on, she goes straight back and she will call Slade. So in that moment, when they showed her the actual screenshots at the table and they were letting her look at them, she had the ability to look at the handles. I'm wondering if there was some sort of conversation that she had with him, conspiracy, where she said, go back to these accounts, unlike these things. Like, this cannot come down, right? And then also, it could be so easily planted if you're so steadfast in the fact that whoever this person is with the masked voice, if you're so steadfast and you're sitting there and you're standing in it and you're owning it, like Lisa Rinna says, own it. And you're saying it was Tamara who gave you all this information. Who the fuck are you? Where are you?
Listen.
What's your face? What's your name? Why are you hiding behind something? Something is so off with this. I don't believe it. I don't believe it was Tamara. She's the longest running housewife. She's not stupid. And she roasted Jen Aydin on 2 T's in a Pod for doing the exact same thing. So if she did that, she's a moron. And I don't believe she's a moron.
I don't think she did either, because she's also not, yeah, I agree with you. She's not a liar. But no. I do, and I've said this before with the whole Katie Janela situation, because I'm kind of pissed that people can give such ultimatums where housewives can be like pushed off the show for the rest of the season. I think that's ridiculous, right? Katie was never the play. The play has always been Tamara. We've watched it the whole season. Gretchen, Slade. It literally was, to me, it felt like Slade and Gretchen trying to take down Tamara. That's exactly what it was, in my opinion. So I agree with that theory. I'm really curious to see what happens. I have not been very interested in Gretchen.
Also, though,
she came back, by the way. I don't know if that was a good idea.
let me just add this in there too. When they all said, especially Shannon, she's trying to frame it like, well, if Tamara had this information and it was true, why did she say she sat on it for a year? Guys, because think about the audience and again, I don't know. I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to think rationally here, but think about the audience for Bravo. There is a huge LGBTQIA plus community that loves and champions Bravo. Andy Cohen is gay. He is like the father of Bravo. We know this. Bringing up something like this that is so problematic and talking about these different communities within that acronym, that is dark. And that's what Tamara said. She was like, I didn't want to bring this. I wanted to handle things in different ways and talk about other things that were happening. I didn't want it to get to this point.
Right.
But if you're going to sit there and poke and push and poke and push and sit there and try to expose me or take my job away from me, then you, what about this? And then I think that she finally did get pushed to the point where she's like, you guys are sitting here defending this woman who's like, hi, my God, I just want to say I love everybody and I'm so happy and I'm amazing. And I think Tamara hit her wit's end with it, because if you guys don't remember from the beach day, Tamara made amends with Gretchen. She thought that everything was good. Then Gretchen went to Heather's condo and Gretchen ended up accusing Tamara of having an affair with a boy band member behind Eddie's back. Like,
they have made amends more times than Tamara has quit the show this season, and it still is not leading up to anything. That's why I'm like, I don't know what was the point. The whole point of bringing Gretchen back was to cause this exact kind of drama between her and Tamara. I believe
same thing with Alexis and Shannon.
Alexis, same thing. And then, which is you would think, okay, that's a smart play because, all the bloggers, aka the content creators and other people, are being brought into all of these storylines. It's like, do you guys have a life? You know what I mean? Right. But I do think that Slade had an agenda.
Right.
I
do want to answer this really quick too, guys. Tessa-ish said, my biggest gripe with Tamara is that her son is MAGA. She spoke about him being a huge Trump supporter. So her calling out Gretchen for it seems odd to me, like she expects us to forget. Here's the other thing that I'm not, again, defending anybody, but what I do want to say is her son, Ryan, is not a cast member. He's not on the show. And, Kelly Dodd dealt with a lot of backlash for her political views and her political stances. I don't think that should play into the show. I don't think that religion, a lot of these things should play into the show. I'm watching Selling Sunset right now, and I see where, there are these like massive feuds going on over the wrong usage of pronouns and stuff like that. I think that there are certain things that are like, if these are your beliefs, have these conversations privately. And if this is how you feel, okay, leave certain things out of it. There's a certain decorum. And also there are certain things like Jason grew up in a very proper family where he would love and had to be, ready in his little suit. And he was like a little gay boy, but he was like ready in his suit, like going to dinner. And there were certain things that you didn't talk about at the table. And he learned that at a very young age. Like my family, they were savages. So like there was nothing like that was not off the table. But also by the end of the dinner, my family was like reaching across the table, beating the shit out of each other. So it was very, that is the reason you don't talk about things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Listen, I mean, I think whatever her son's political beliefs are, again, I know people on both sides of the aisles who have very different opinions about many different things. So, I know a lot of, what do they say, MAGA or whatever? We live in the South and they are gay. So like, it's just like it's wild to watch because everyone has a different kind of opinion and stuff. But I think everyone likes to, like we do with Housewives, is we like to put everyone, lump them into a group of people, and it can only be this one or this one. It cannot be somewhere in the middle. And I think that's what people do with Housewives and teams of Housewives as well. It's like the truth lies somewhere in the middle, but we're just too busy not finding the truth.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay. Guys, I just want to say again, let's repeat this. Politicians do not work for us. Just FYI. My brother idolizes politicians. I have another family member who is on the other side of the aisle who's like, oh my gosh, this person is amazing. please, they all have their own agenda. They have their own agenda. Vote locally in your community, support your community. That's where it matters.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So speaking of this, before we move on to the next thing, because I got a lot of shit for the thing we're talking about after this, but I wanted to bring not her, but her up.
Hey, girl.
Jennifer Aydin. I don't know if you guys saw this. She sent out a message, and I'm not quite sure if you guys can see it if I bring it up, but I will try. And she is pretty much confirming that she will not be on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. And she's pretending. Let me just also add to this really quick. I fucking get so annoyed with this. I get so annoyed with people like Jennifer Aydin. I find her to be completely annoying. And the reason being is like, you go on, you're yelling at people at sub shops. You're like, I'm a fucking celebrity. You don't know who I am? I'm a celebrity. I got more Ferraris in my garage than I can count. Blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, like she also sits there and she talks shit to cast members and she's like, you're always going to be here. I'm here. You'll never touch me. And then going on, this is her statement, which let me give respect to Teddy Mellencamp in this one. Teddy Mellencamp was one of the few housewives that I saw when she got fired from the show. She said, I'm not going to sit here, guys, and give you an exit statement pretending like I'm leaving or I have so much in the works and I'm so much better off. She's like, this is devastating. I love this show. I loved being a part of this show. This sucks.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot to take in. And it was so honest, but it was real and it was raw. And I appreciated that because a lot of people always say on to bigger and better. And that's exactly what Jen Aydin said.
So, I mean, listen, this obviously meant a lot to sit down and write all of this in your notes or whatever.
Exactly.
And copy and paste it.
Well, and I think that she was drunk too when she did this. I don't know that for a fact, guys. Again, conspiracy.
Well, we're only going off what we saw on the show.
You have this little white line over here on the left side where she accidentally pressed like the little draw line. And then she... To
be fair, Adam, you do the same thing.
Right, but she had misspellings too. Hey guys, just wanted to hop on here and update you guys on a few things. A lot of you have been asking me if I'm still on the shower or not. Show, she meant. I can honestly say that nobody has told me anything, and they still haven't told me anything, but I have not checked either. Life's been pretty busy, and I would only think about it when people asked, which is why I would have liked to have known so I can let you guys know. You know me, I like to keep it real. And all I've heard is what you've heard. You probably know more than me, actually. I've heard that they're test filming, and I wasn't invited to BravoCon, so by the looks of it, I think it's safe to say probably not, and that's okay. I'm good. Maybe that's how they fire people these days. Ooh, this is the bitter part. But maybe that's how they fire people these days. But just moving on without telling the person, maybe it's awkward for them. She meant by, not but. She said, I don't know. But if they did tell me, I would have said, thanks for letting me know. And thanks so much for the journey. Wish you guys all the best. And I mean that. I'll always be grateful for my time on the show. It wasn't quite the experience. Or it was quite the experience, to say the least. So it's time to keep it moving. And I got a podcast. Huh! Can you imagine? Welcome. It's called TV Gold, and it's not about housewives, LOL. Of course, I'll touch on it at times since it was such a big part of my life. But the podcast is more going to be about pop culture, entertainment, fashion, health, wellness, and beauty, all with a flair of funny, handled by yours truly, Jennifer Aydin. So it's out with the old and on to the gold with me, Jen Aydin, hashtag TV Gold. Well, no housewife ever wants to leave this show, this platform, correct, and everything that comes with it to go sit there in front of a fucking mic and do a podcast. Who are you fooling or trying to fool?
I don't know. It's just weird, you know. And also, like, I'm not going to go to Jennifer Aydin for my fashion, entertainment, any pop culture, all of the above, news feed. Nothing, especially the way she delivers things and the way she talks. It's just no. Now, you know that they don't get their contracts. Like, they don't know when it's coming. And then when they say, hey, we're filming, it's like in 2 weeks, you know, so they don't know. It's like, let's take Dubai, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. They're on pause, AKA probably never coming back, but they could call them next week and be like, hey, we want to offer you a contract. We start filming in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they have to decide, like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
It's housewives are almost, it's like a freelance kind of thing. It's like a contract thing. You know, it's not like you're promised like 5 seasons. I mean, unless you're Captain Lee or Captain Sandy on Below Deck, you know, the captains have longer contracts, it's really hard to get captains. I went into that explanation before on Anchor Watch, and I'll explain it again. It's just they need to secure the captains who have a certain license and stuff like that.
I kind of feel like the best analogy for this is like, if you guys think about NBCU and like the people who are making these casting decisions, because Andy Cohen, of course, is one of them, but he does not have the final say. He's been very vocal about that. And I believe that, you know, he's the face and executive producer and host, but there are bigger people in the network, at the network, who handle these things. And I feel like they sit at a round table. And I think the best analogy would be equating that to sort of like a jury. And until they come up with the final decision, which is going to take all the way into the last minute, you're not going to get a verdict. And that verdict is who's
Correct.
going to be on the cast. That's what this is.
Yeah.
But before we move on to the next one, let me just go ahead on here and take some of these questions. Jason, how did you feel about Amanda? I'm not liking her at all.
Well, Amanda Cronin on The Real Housewives of London. I actually really liked her at the beginning.
Like,
and I just...
But yeah. Huh? I was like, Amanda who?
No, Amanda Cronin from The Real Housewives of London on Hey You. When she first came on the show, I was like, who is this? I really, really like her. So I have to agree, you know, like, oh, you didn't say you liked her at the beginning. Okay. I liked her at the beginning, and then I found her to just get too petty.
Right.
That's all. Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, no, not now. But she's really good for the show.
New member.
Welcome,
Hi.
guys.
Another new member. Oh, hello.
Sergio,
I saw your message from New York. Thank you. We had a great time, and we'll keep you posted on members now that you're a member. Muddy Grace, thank you so much. Toaster JB said, question, is Jersey filming? I've only heard rumblings about them doing test filming, but I don't know. And I don't even know if they're still doing test filming. And also, I still encourage other topics besides 100% Bravo. It was fun hearing about Cirque by Jason, for example. Join members. That's all I can say.
Join members. I do have to say, too, guys, that we're doing a lot of changes coming up in the next year. We do this every year and a half, Adam. We kind of move things around a little bit. We're going to be moving into almost, I think, 3 lives a week. Is that correct? We're going to do Hot Messy 3 times a week.
Monday,
Not
Wednesday,
anytime
Friday.
soon. Probably, I would probably
After
say the new
BravoCon.
year or after BravoCon.
Yeah.
And we're going to compile Anchor Watch and everything else in that Hot Messy topics at the same time. We're going to be streaming longer and adding, pile-on topics. And we're going to have people start appearing on the podcast again and on the show, because I think that's a lot of fun to have people on.
I didn't know that. So yay.
Well, there we go.
So excited. Sassy Savage said, question, Caroline Stanberry said that she has a busy schedule at BravoCon. Do you think she's coming back to Dubai or London? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep this. You guys know that we're friends with Caroline, so I'm not going to out her on anything. I think that they would love to have her in London. I don't think that Dubai at this moment, I don't think that there's any rumblings about Dubai coming back in any capacity. They would be very, very fortunate to have Caroline on the Real Housewives of London. However, Caroline is so busy with all of these other businesses and the things that she's doing in Dubai, to think that she has the capacity to go film for 4 months in London. She doesn't. There's no way. And I don't think that she wants to, based off of very, very subtle conversation.
I want to say, if something
interested.
gets put on pause or put to the side, she's not going to sit there and wait around for, like, hopefully Dubai will come back. She has appeared on London, and it was so easy.
I think she wants more than that, though, to be honest. She hasn't said this to me, but I think that she wants, if you guys knew the things that her and her husband are doing behind the scenes, like the projects that they currently have going on, if you put a camera on some of these projects, when I say, like, it's amazing and it's wild, I think that's what she wants to do. I think that she wants to do these projects with her husband, with their group of friends. They have a very eclectic group around them. And the projects are like, it's no joke, you guys. Like, the things.
Well, they're building a hotel in Bali. They're building a home in Bali.
Hotel, it's a fucking resort, you guys.
I know. It's a whole resort.
It looks like White Lotus.
Yeah, they have like the whole property thing happening in Dubai. It honestly, I think it would be Sergio said, does she want to spin off? I don't know. I think that would be more interesting than putting her back on the show. I think by the time you would bring Dubai back, it would just be like, no.
I think she's jaded on it.
Yeah.
Think,
and also Dubai, you guys got to think too, like there's so much happening in that area of the world, even though Dubai is a very safe place with everything still happening all over the world, you know, for about 2 years, having such a conflict over there, it's just not something I think they're willing to invest in. It is very expensive to film Dubai. They have a lot of rules.
Oh, you think it might be a little bit more of a liability?
I think it's a liability. It's if you're going to invest all that money and that area of the world goes back and forth with, you know, conflict all the time. That's just my opinion. You know, Dubai is a very safe place. The UAE is a great place. It's a very safe place. And I don't think that would ever be a problem. I think it's just kind of, are people interested? Because the numbers weren't there.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Sorry.
I'm going to move on to the next one really quick and share this with you guys. I don't know if you saw this, but I got roasted for it for my opinion. And I thought it was actually really ridiculous because how do you say that? Ridiculous?
Ridiculous. Yes. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Jason, I caught myself before you caught me because sometimes I say things and Jason's like, excuse me, how did you say that? But I thought it was ridiculous how I got roasted for saying that they roasted Wendy. If you guys didn't see this, here we go.
I mean, first I want to say I am highly shocked, surprised, and disappointed by these charges. You know,
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, if everything that is in these documents is true, you know, so of course you're guilty and innocent until proven guilty. But if everything in these charging documents is true, I'm highly disappointed. And then I just have so many questions, like why did we feel the need to do this?
Why?
Yeah,
that is my biggest question. Like I immediately thought, first of all, huge disappointment, sad, right? Because this is so sad for their children, you know, guilty or innocent. Their parents were removed from their house and brought down to a police station and charged. They have mugshots. That is, I'm sure, super scary for their children.
Anyway, I mean, first I want to say I am highly
so sad, but like, why? What? Surely not. In my mind, I'm like, this can't be for materialistic things. Like, you don't.
I mean, what else is it for though? Because it was highly intentional, highly planned, not well thought out, but thought out.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me wonder, like, like I saw a clip where she was kind of like talking about how well Happy Eddie is doing. So it makes me think like, okay, well, was that a exaggeration? Like, was that not the truth? I don't know. But it's also like, why? And then my why questions, like, why did they think that they could get away with this? Why did they think, you know, because I'll be honest, I watch a lot of crime shows, ID channel.
Me too.
I watch ID channel, American.
So sad.
American Greed. You know, I'm all on the, you know, Assassins, anything. I could commit a crime. Like I would know what to do, you know, to commit a crime and try to cover it up and all of that type of stuff. And I know I'm still getting caught. Like,
okay, so you guys obviously get the gist of it, but the point is I was talking about the fact that they go on through this podcast and they were essentially roasting Dr. Wendy Osefo and Eddie for, if in fact they get convicted, being Bravo's dumbest criminals. Yeah.
Which, if they get convicted, absolutely.
Read between the lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
can you imagine we're like committing, like, and also like, there are so many things you can take from journalists if you're trying, and I don't want to give a one-on-one on how to like commit a crime, but like, why are you sending that through email? Use Signal. You know, journalists, they send a lot of, no, but I learned this. They send a lot of things that are encrypted that you can't ever see again. It disappears. You know, why wouldn't you do that? It's like, well, let me just email wendyosefo@gmail.com. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Well, and it's not only that, but it's like, now you're trying to say unlawful search and seizure, including materials that were taken electronically, like the emails, and you're trying to get this whole fraud, like the charges dismissed, demanding that they are dismissed over the unlawful seizure of those emails because you guys fucked up and had a conversation. Like, who has that conversation over email? Don't you live in the same house?
Well,
this is so stupid.
When you're backed into a corner, you start looking to places that you can reach. This is a reach. Then it's playing into the race of it all. I mean, a crime is a crime. Let's be honest about it, you know? Let's just be honest. It's true.
No, I don't agree with that.
And I've said this.
I don't agree with Candace.
No, I don't agree with Candace either. I said this, like, I think this is my third time saying it, guys. Like, it just takes away from real things happening with criminals and race and police and stuff like that. This is not that. You know, privileged people in a privileged neighborhood doing a stupid crime. That's exactly what it was. And we'll see how it plays out.
And also too, you know, like, here's the thing. If Jason and I committed insurance fraud, we had the conversation through email. We went to Jamaica. The shit was gone. And all of a sudden I come on
Jamaica,
and
by
I'm
the
like,
way, prayers for Jamaica. We have a friend down there right
yes.
now.
Oh my God. I saw Clem, by the way, this morning at Starbucks, and she was
she's back.
Yes.
Oh my God,
but prayers for Jamaica. But if I came on and I was like, hi guys, and you all of a sudden identified that this is the ring, you know, like we would go to jail. We would go to jail. We would be indicted. We would have a trial. We would be on the spot. And that is how that works. It's not, crimes are not there. It's not discriminatory towards a certain person or type of people. Or
it can be. Now, it can be. And that's what that was my point.
Sentences can be. Sentences can be,
but also crimes can be. But that was my point. This is not one of them. So stop playing it like it is.
Well, there have been people who have been and I get that, true. So let me retract that, because there have been people who have been put into prison and
for years, for decades, for things they did not do.
For things that they did not do. But I
your dumbasses put it in an email.
Your
dumbasses went and got refunds, and then for things that were lost or whatever. That I can't. No,
I would just hope that I would hope that in today's time, and I don't know the judicial system that well, you guys, so I don't want to sit here and pretend to be an expert. I would hope with the amount of technology that we have, literally, like now with Ring cameras and everything, the world is one big fucking CCTV. And like, I would just hope that it would lessen that rate of people being unlawfully charged with crimes that they didn't commit and put behind bars for a big majority of their lives. Like I would hope that that's not the thing, but
you know, and with the rise of AI and everything, it's harder to hide things like that. It's going to be harder. I mean, we've already given up privacy in this world. It's just like kind of crazy, but
yeah.
All right. Sorry, doctor. Doesn't look good.
I know that this is a sad note, you guys, but I did want to say, Jason and I, you guys know us. We love Lisa Vanderpump. She has given us so many opportunities, and she's always been amazing to us. When her brother Mark ended up taking his life, I was working at Tom Tom. Jason was running her other restaurants, and you know, she was a shell of herself for not even weeks, but probably months, to be honest. Yeah. She brought in Mark's sons to come live with her at Villa Rosa, her and Ken, and Sam Vanderpump is one of them, who is on the British reality TV show Made in Chelsea. And Sam Vanderpump just recently revealed that he was diagnosed with end liver disease. So this disease, the doctors told him that he has about 4 to 5 years unless he gets a liver transplant. But just on top of that, he just found out that his fiance is pregnant with their first child. So devastating news. People were sending me this in DMs and asking me, like, how do you think Lisa's reacting? And I said this on a TikTok. I also said it on another video, that if I had to guess, there's only 3 things that you can use to really break Lisa's spirit or her down in any capacity. It's attacking her family, whether it's Ken, her grandson, or her children. It's attacking her businesses. And that's like, if you really had something. And then I fucking forgot the third one, but everything else she doesn't care about. She's too strong for that. This is definitely going to hit her in a different way. For sure.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, I got to spend some time with Sam and stuff too when they were in LA, and
no,
vaguely, like, just little do we, you know.
Oh, he was a little shit stirrer.
He's great. I know I love him. He's his aunt. He is Lisa as a young.
He
male.
was so funny. He'd be like, "Where's my drink?" And I'd be like, "What the? I don't fucking know. Like I thought I just watched you have like 3. Like what drink? You're not even sitting at a table." And he'd be like, I'm Lisa's nephew. I'm like, who gives a shit? Then go ask Lisa. I have like a section with like 8 tables. I don't care.
But I do have to say, my guilty pleasure, guys, when it's not Bravo, you know, I love anything UK, and I love our UK audience and our little UK family here, and my UK family personally. I like love. My guilty pleasure is Made in Chelsea, and seeing Lisa on there, watching Sam's journey is really fun. And let's just all pray he can get a transplant, get healthy. He has overcome so much health issues in the past 2 years. It's insane. To be hit with something else again is really sad. Yeah.
And I know that we were going to share some of the Andy Cohen of it all with Call Her Daddy podcast, you guys, but I actually just went ahead because I knew that we had a lot of topics, and I have videos out about Andy Cohen on the Call Her Daddy podcast. So go check those out. Alexandra Cooper, she is a freaking monster. She killed it. She asked all of the questions that we would want to know. She really makes him come out of his shell. It was fun. It was lighthearted, but it was like sort of savage, getting him to talk about things that I don't think anybody would ever be able to get him to talk about. And they played a segment called either share or text. And actually, you know what? I'll share this one clip with you guys.
Let's do it.
I'll share the one share or text.
We're going to play a Call Her Daddy game.
Okay.
It's called Confess or Text. That's why I had you bring your phone out.
Okay.
Here's how it works. I'm going to ask you a juicy question.
Okay.
You can answer the question, then we move on to the next. If you don't want to answer the question, you then have to send a text to a person that is in that bowl, and the text is written. 3 of the 4 people in that bowl I've actually interviewed, and they're your friends, so that will be fun. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. How much money did you make last year?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to text someone. Oh my God. Really?
I thought you weren't going to answer that.
Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way I'm answering that.
Why not?
Because I feel like it's douchey, and I feel like, frankly, I'm in a position in my life where I'm making money that is there's an incredible wage inequity with people that I work with, and also people who do jobs.
Now we're going to play a Call Her Daddy game.
Okay.
It's called
do jobs that are way more important than mine, like special ed teachers or home hospice care. I mean,
you're self-aware.
It is not fair.
No one needs to hear.
Ridiculous.
Love, text. Who's it to?
Lisa Vanderpump.
What does it say?
We're going to shake up the Beverly Hills cast. Who do you think I should cut next season? What's it going to take to get you back on Housewives? Okay.
You either text one of those. Which one do you want to do?
I think I'll text her. Well, she's going to say Kyle.
Stop.
Shaking up BH cast. Who should we part? I'm saying excellent with.
Look at the smirk on your fucking face.
Okay.
You're like, you little shit.
Okay.
It's either that or how much money you make. I think that's easy. That's easy. So you think she's going to say Kyle?
Oh, yeah. Okay. 2 jobs that are.
So she actually responded, and she didn't say Kyle. She said all of them. Get rid of all of them. But guys, you have to go see the Call Her Daddy podcast. We just saw Andy Cohen on Monday. He did a phenomenal job at SiriusXM and interviewing the All's Fair cast, Ryan Murphy's new show that's centered around Kim Kardashian. The only person who was not in attendance from that cast was Glenn Close, which I'm sure we can all imagine that she's incredibly busy, but he killed it. I died for Kim. It was so much fun.
I'm so glad out of so many people, Adam was like, we'll get into this on the members, 1 of 8 and 1 of 3 to ask a question, 1 of 8 in the room. and it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Good.
We'll get into that on members for sure.
And then with that, guys, we're kind of starting to wrap up, but I just wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't, we're getting into the holidays and you can sign up for 15% off of your first order. And if you've already ordered from our new rebranded CBD company, SEAGRASS, then you can go use code UPAndAtom for 20% off. I think that this would be amazing for the holidays. It's the best gift, whether you want something to take off the edge when you are going throughout your day, which I've been guilty of, or if you just need sleep, because we work our asses off all day. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I am straight to workouts with the animals, working, running around, doing things. Jason's doing things. And at night, it's like my brain cannot turn off. So I love our CBD company. I know you guys will love it. And we always have repeat customers. So the proof is in the pudding. You guys can go use code UPAndAtom. I pin that in the live chat. Go check it out. And I will also put it in the description. And I'll even pin it in the comment section for you guys. But it's the holidays. Guys, stocking stuffers. Get with it.
I know. Everyone who's coming, we're having everybody to our house for the holidays this year. So it's like, okay, New York, we check. Now we have BravoCon. This is going to be 6 days of like crazy. And Vegas. Vegas is exhausting and draining by itself. Like you walk outside, you're drained, right? And then we have everyone coming, but they know what they're getting. So
yeah. and we're playing White Elephant game. Guys, listen to this shit really quick before, and I'll dive deeper on members only. But I was trying to figure out things to do. So I have a White Elephant game that has like a $50, like up to $50 is the spend. Everybody brings a gift, but it's naughty or nice. If anybody brings a dildo, they're going to get kicked out of my house because that's just stupid. Ew. Like, don't be nasty. Well, yeah, some people are stupid though.
Yeah, we don't know.
Then we're also
like classy Christmas.
Classy Christmas.
Classy.
And then
Christmas.
we're classy Christmas.
Classy and sassy.
Classy and sassy. Are you done? And we're also playing another game where we're all going to pick out of a little bowl, and we're going to pick 2 names out of like the 12 people who are going to be here. I think that's like an exaggeration. I think
12.
Well, hold on. Your mom,
you
my
invited
mom,
like
your
20. Like what?
I don't know. So
yeah, I know. Obviously,
we're gonna pick 2 names out, and we have this massive like new tiki bar here on the beach that has like literally like 300 people there at all times. And those 2 people are going to have to go do karaoke in front of a big audience with a Christmas song. So that's going to be fun and put you on the spot. And then one day we're all going to be in our ugly Christmas sweaters or Christmas pajamas, whatever people choose. We're going to go bike riding, do bocce ball on the beach and stuff like that. But I have so many fun little specific games that I have up my sleeve. It is going to be a freaking blast. And my brother didn't even know that he was the one who's going to be responsible for cooking everything. So I just told him. He was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, who did you think was going to cook? It's not us.
I mean, I can do breakfast, but
yeah.
Besides that, no.
Oy.
Oh, a Charleston native said, love the name Seagrass. Thank you. We're playing, we're in the Low Country.
Thank you.
From the Low Country. So, yeah, it just fit a lot better than our old brand. We're doing a huge shoots. I'm dropping some off to actually our friend in Charleston next week to do a big marketing shoot. We're going to be in stores down here too, which is going to be so great. And I know I saw Vicky, you asked if we're doing any pain relief and stuff like that. I was in Cirque du Soleil for 13 years, and every day I wake up in pain. I had 7 surgeries, 7 like put to sleep surgeries on my body. So I have a lot of inflammation and stuff in those areas. And I'm always looking for things. We have been working on products that are still to come out, and we've been working on them for over a year. These gummies took over 2 years. It takes time. We have a roll-on that we're working on, but we want it to be strong enough because sometimes...
My God, it's 3,000 milligrams, you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of CBD, but it really does help, especially little neck pains before you go to bed. And we're working on a whole thing. We have dog chews coming out, but since we have 3 dogs, we want to make sure we have everything down to a science. So I'm really excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a new journey. And like I said, that's why we did the name change and the brand change, because we want to be in stores. And now we're going to be in stores. So
now, it's so funny is the minute that we rebranded you guys, we have 4 local shops here on the island. Also one being inside of one of the biggest hotels on the island, who, I mean, because it's a small island, I feel like I can go to Publix like 5 times out of the week, which I do. And I will get to know every fucking person on the island, the mayor, the everyone. And that's exactly what we've sort of accomplished, because this community is a very tight-knit community. So it's very easy. If you're respectful and you treat people with kindness and you put yourself out there and you go to events, go to parties, it's very easy to achieve these sort of things. And we're just grateful that people are more comfortable with this commercialized name and they want to champion us, and that they love the product, and we can't wait to watch it thrive. And thank you to all of you guys. We love you guys. Thank you. So, I think that's it though, guys. I know that we're going to put this up on the podcast. I have a few videos to do. I am absolutely starving because I split my breakfast sandwich with Jason this morning. So I'm going to go get Thai food. So we love you guys. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Go to SEAGRASSco.com and use code UPAndADAM for 20% off. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Be safe out there, guys.
Yeah. Friday
Bye.
night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.